Took a while to get that intro done, didn't it? Imagine being an Oilers fan waiting that long for Chiarelli to get fired. Woo! That's a sick intro. Pumped to have an intro now. Huge thank you to my good buddy Jeff Malo for throwing that together for me. I love it, buddy. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. The Edmonton Oilers have finally fired GM Peter Chiarelli. What does this mean for the Oilers? What does this mean for the future of the Oilers? And where do they go from here? Now, if you know me personally, you know this is a weird video for me to be making because I'm a Leafs fan, not an Oilers fan. In fact, if I had to pick a least favorite team, it would be the Oilers. Can't stand how many first overalls they've had, not going to get into it. That doesn't matter though, whether I'm a fan or not isn't really important. What is important is Edmonton fans should be excited. Edmonton fans should be very excited. Now, not with the whole state of the team and the GM getting fired. There's a reason he got fired. But the fact that they finally fired Chiarelli, that's something for Oilers Nation to be excited about. And Keith Gretzky will replace him as interim GM. Not Wayne, not Brent, Keith. So let me just start this by saying this was long overdue. I know a lot of Oilers fans and even just people looking at the Oilers from the outside couldn't believe he was still around to this day because he's made a lot of moves that really set the Oilers back a long way where they should be a lot further with the prospects and the talent that they have on the team. Why is this good for the Oilers? Beyond just getting a fresh start and beyond changing the culture in the locker room, they finally have the opportunity to get a guy that can make some moves that actually help the team for once. Ever since Chiarelli came onto the Oilers, he's done nothing but burn that place to the ground, man. I mean, think about all the different ways he's sewered this team. The Milan Lucic contract, the Taylor Hall trade, the Jordan Eberle trade. Oh yeah, how about trading one of McDavid's best friends for the player who broke his collarbone 2 years earlier? Ah, that was a good one. There's the Curtis Russell deal. And can we please not forget that they traded the Barzal pick? Oh, we weren't going to draft Barzal anyways. That's not a good excuse. What, that doesn't make your management any better saying that they weren't going to draft this all-star. No, none of the other teams had him on the radar. Well, then all the other teams shit the bed too. Matt Barzal is a hell of a player and he got picked up by the Islanders. The Islanders didn't make that mistake. You did, Edmonton. You did, Peter Chiarelli. Even beyond the fact that they traded the Beauvillier pick as well, and those two for Griffin Reinhart, who was taken for nothing by Vegas in the expansion draft. All these players for just nobody. Nobody. You traded Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle, and the picks that got Barzal and Beauvillier for Reinhart, who was gone for nothing, Strome, who was gone for Spooner, who was gone for nothing, and Adam Larson. The Adam Larson trade. Okay, let's get into that for 2 seconds. There's no way that he couldn't have called any other 30 teams around the NHL, or I guess 29 at the time. He couldn't have called any other 29 teams in the NHL and said, hey, I got Taylor Hall on the block. What you need to give me? The best offer they got was Adam Larson? The best offer they got was Adam Larson. Are you kidding me, Peter? And these are just things he did on the Oilers. Let's not even talk about what he did in Boston. I gotta say though, signing the Koskinen deal on his way out the door is just hilarious. $4.5 million per for the next 3 years for a 31-year-old goaltender who's played 28 NHL games in the past 5 years? You're kidding me. I understand that you have to project for your guys and sign contracts like that, but that's just an unproven old goaltender getting good money. Even this year, for the games that he's played, he's been mediocre. If he had a shut-down, absolute lights-out, .930 save percentage season, let's get him on the books right away, even more than that. But he just hasn't been great this year even to earn that money. I mean, realistically, I could go on for probably a couple hours on just all the dumb things that Chiarelli's done for that team and how he's really put him in the hole, but let's not focus on that because he's gone now. We know that Chiarelli's fired. Let's talk about where the Oilers are heading in the future. Now, looking at the core, what the Oilers have locked up long-term, they got Connor McDavid, lights out. Leon Draisaitl, lights out. They got Adam Larson locked up for another 3 years. He's a good defenseman. He's no Taylor Hall, but let's not sell him short. Adam Larson is a good defenseman. They also got Chris Russell for another 3 years. Ugh. And Milan Lucic for another 5 years at $6 million. Yeah. But nonetheless, there are moves that can be made, and he has a good young core to work with. You've got Connor McDavid, best player in the NHL, don't at me. You've got the best player in the world to work with. You've got Draisaitl, who is an incredible young player. You've got a pretty wishy-washy defense, but the good thing is none of them are signed long-term. Larsson's the longest at 3 years. Might have some issues with the goaltending in years down the road. But nonetheless, you pretty much have a team that's all on short contracts right now, ending in the next 2 to 3 years, and you have a lot of your picks still. You have room to kind of move around and play with this team a little bit, whoever ends up getting the job. So no matter who it is, even though they're definitely not in a good position to succeed, you know damn straight they're going to be better than Chiarelli. As far as who's going to replace him as general manager of the Oilers, I don't really know. It's pretty early to say. He just got fired last night or this morning, depending on where you live. I've heard a couple of things saying maybe Mark Heiner will step in the job. Maybe Garth Snow is a guy they look at, but I know he got ran out of New York. Anyways, I'm not really sure who's going to come in and replace Peter Chiarelli for general manager, but you know whoever it is, they got a great young core to work with. It's Edmonton. We all know how diehard the Oilers fans are about their Oilers. And above and beyond anything else, you have Connor McDavid. So whoever does end up stepping into the role, just have the confidence you'll probably do better than what you replaced. Well, I think that's about all I have to say about that one. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And I don't know when I'll see you next, but I'm looking forward to it.